popping with y'all, man? It's your boy JG.
You already know it's Jay Jonah.
Diving on into a new episode in the season, Jay.
What is that? What is that?
Season 10, episode 3.
Yes, sir. We got another eye for you, y'all. And this one is epic, bro. I mean, you guys already see it in the title. And I know you see him sitting right next to us. If you guys aren't familiar with the face, he showed his talents on probably one of the biggest scales you probably could show your talent on in one of the biggest TV shows in America. America's Got Talent, to be exact. You feel me? I ain't got to say all his accolades because like, we could be here all day. But all I got to say is right now, Emmy nominated. Please give a BSP warm welcome for Brandon Leake.
That's no cap, no cap.
Yeah, man. Congratulations on that, by the way, bro. I know that was very recent. So
yeah, it was actually super funny because so I have a poem that runs before all the Warriors games. Mm-hmm. And so we were reshooting it for the conference finals and for the finals. And while we were reshooting, they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, man, you got nominated for an Emmy." And I'm like,
wait. Let's take it back, huh?
I'm like, I got nominated for what? They're like, yeah, the poem. We as an organization got nominated for it because they really like it. And so yeah, if we win, then you win. So you get an award. And I was like,
wow.
Man, I was like, how long y'all known? They're like, oh, we found out like 2 weeks ago. I was like, 2 weeks?
2 weeks ago?
Like, I could have booked gigs off this already. This is
my voice we're talking about here.
Oh.
You feel me? But nah, it's a really humbling thing, man. Anyway.
I was gonna say, for those that don't know, what is the name of this poem so that way they can actually go check it out actually right now?
Oh, if you just type in Brandon Leake Warriors, it's like this is like the 75th year anniversary of the NBA just generally. And the Warriors are one of the first 4 teams who were ever in the NBA.
Didn't know that.
And so they've actually been 75 years deep in it. Wow. So they wanted me to do something special for the year.
Bro, for that to even still fall into play, for you to be able to be a part of that right now, it's already history for them. Now you're a part of their history, bro. Like, what the heck? Hey. You're the reason why they're getting ready to get an Emmy, bro.
Yo, it was really funny because when they called, I was like, hey, yo, just so y'all know, man, I grew up a Laker fan.
Hey, that check was nice though,
Let's just make this be known real quick. I did grow up a Laker fan.
You know what I mean? I'm like, Kobe Bryant was the first basketball player that I ever watched. So I'm just going to make sure that everybody's clear.
Laker fan to Laker fan, you know what I'm saying, my brother? You know what I'm
saying?
Hey,
yo, man,
we stay loyal to the soil, you understand?
Hey, that's a little hard right now, dog.
It is,
but we honest with it.
We staying loyal, though.
Let's go Dubs. Let's go Dubs. Hey, Brandon, but if you don't know what we're here to do on the Blowing Smoke podcast, I know we got some new listeners tuning in on this one, man. Hey, we're here to give an elevated perspective on everyday situations, talk some shit, and bring some real news to the table, bro. And while we do that, we usually sip and dip in the process. We knew coming in, we were like, it's Sunday morning. Let's relax on this one, you know what I mean? Let's just kick back, you know what I'm saying? But JG, you was off the what this morning? I know you was talking to me earlier.
Well, yeah, this is what I went and checked out was the Volvo, y'all. Y'all need to go ahead and try it out on yourself. It was cool, bro. For me personally, it was like, it kind of tasted like my cookie taste, if I could kind of give it a
I like the Volvo, bro.
If anybody likes to smoke like the blue cookies, like the Girl Scout cookies, things like that, this is something that I think you guys might like also, you know what I'm saying?
What's the percentage on it?
I was just about to say. It got 26%, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like, oh man, I'm finna be high off my ass. But you're going to be high and you're going to be tasting on, you know what I'm saying, that good sticky icky. That's the best way to put it. But get that Volvo if y'all see it, any store, y'all.
Y'all know it was Sunday morning. I had to get the Jupiter Jack. I was up this morning feeling good. I knew Brandon was coming in the studio. I'm like, let's go have a good time off that 30%. You know what I mean? That lime 30%? Green. Yeah, but we got to smoke that again. It was pretty good.
Say that.
Yeah, no, for real. Brandon, you smoke it though?
Never actually tried any weed or alcohol.
Really?
Yeah, never.
Wow. Now, one sip ever?
Never.
Beer?
Never.
Wine?
Never.
Connoisseur?
Nah.
Not you?
Do you have a preference of water that you drink?
Shoot, man. Anything but Arrowhead.
Make you thirsty again after you drink and leave your mouth dry. That's no cap, though.
I'm like, we can talk about why that is later, though.
Yeah, facts. But no, Brandon, how are you, though? I mean, getting into it. I mean, we're in 2022, about almost halfway through. We're about to hit the summer. You know what I mean? Like, how are you personally going in this life after the COVID and everything going on?
Man, dog, I'm cool. Honestly, man, it's been a whirlwind. Just this year gave me a whole lot of beautiful moments. So if y'all don't know, June 19th, don't know when this episode drops, so it might be after or before, whatever. June 19th, I am the first spoken word artist to have a one-person televised special. that'll be coming out on the CW network.
Oh wow! The
man,
CW
round of applause.
Yeah.
No, do they give you? Yeah, for real. Do they give you a time slot? Like actually, when we can actually look out for that?
So yeah, June 19th, 8 p.m. I am the closing moment for Juneteenth and their celebration for that and Father's Day.
Oh, that's
so it's really funny. So like Tay Diggs actually is like the thing right before me.
Oh
wow. Yeah. So this is really for the culture type thing, because Tay Diggs really, because he put on for the black people for sure.
Oh, without question, man. And
Bro,
so like,
congratulations, by the way.
Oh, appreciate it, man. And we did it all in Stockton. So like, we did the filming at Hagen Museum downtown, over by Victory Park.
Shout out.
We so like, the poem that I got most notably known for was the poem for my sister. That got me my golden buzzer. So like, we made this special unique, so it's not just me on stage, it's me in like particular locations. So like, I filmed a poem for my sister at her gravesite.
Oh wow!
A new one?
Oh no, the same one.
Okay.
I did a new poem about my mom at the clinic where she found out she was having me. I performed all of the poems for my family members in our living room.
Oh wow! So it's a meaning within a meaning.
Oh yeah, so like
within
it's
a meaning.
So like when a camera pans or like a transition happens, you could be hearing the same poem in a different venue. So like it's gonna be a real unique special. We even got a full animated poem.
Wow.
Yeah, How long is this going?
I got an hour.
What?
Whole hour.
A whole hour.
On the CW.
Same as a comedy.
There you go.
No way.
So I got a full hour.
Oh, let's go. Hold on, bro. I'll do that real quick myself. Hey, shout out, bro. Hold on. That's a big one, bro. That's a big one, bro.
I mean,
yeah, man.
Coming from Stockton, bro, you don't hear spoken word being a career. I mean, not even from Stockton, just in our generation. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, did you always feel that spoken word would be a career for you?
Oh, hell no. I was a hooper.
You were a hooper?
I was a hooper, man. Edison High School, went off and played Division II college basketball.
Okay.
I had short story, I almost went D1.
Wow.
I was supposed to play at UOP. And then what ended up happening was I played 4 years at Edison. The coach, I asked him if he would give me a recommendation, and the recommendation he gave me was, yo, Brandon Leake is a great character kid. He just won't add much.
What? Come on now. I not even said anything at that point.
And so the recruiter saw me play, and he was like, yo, man, you did a really good job at like our tryouts here, and the players really like you. But man, we'd like to white shirt you, so you be like our team manager for the year, and then next year we'll red shirt you, and then next year, the year after, we'll let you play. Right. And I was
360 deal for sports in college.
You feel me?
We'll see.
Yeah.
And I was like, prideful 18-year-old me is like, man, fuck that. I'm just going to go. And I went and played D2, had a great time, and then found poetry after that. So
Where D2?
Redding, California.
Okay, there you go.
In the middle of butt frick nowhere.
I remember.
How was that? What was that experience like, leaving Stockton?
Man, bro, I recommend for anybody, even not just Stockton, but just generally, get out your hometown for at least a year or two. It's like you learn so much about you and who you are as a person by just getting out. Because I went to a very white city in Redding, and there's nothing like being in a place where you have to, like, being in such a white place. I never appreciated black culture as much until I was there.
There we go.
Because I was surrounded by black people, I was surrounded by Hispanics, I was surrounded by Filipinos, and so like so much of our cultural stuff was just a norm. And then going there, it was like, oh, like classic example.
Right.
Somebody asked me, they're like, yo, man, like, you've never seen Lord of the Rings? And I was like, I bet you've never seen Friday. And they're like, I've seen the Rebecca Black video.
Wow. That's their similarity to trying to say like, hey, I know we've seen this together.
But they didn't know they never heard of the movie Friday.
Oh.
They didn't know who Ice Cube was.
Yeah, but I'm hearing it, but I'm like, it's just
that's not normal.
No, I mean it's not normal, but it's just like, okay, all right, no, I hear you.
What you're dealing with is not on a normal everyday basis.
And so I'm like, yo, so this is like a whole new world. But like Redding gave me something. I was able to, by the time I left the college, because when I showed up, there was only 9 black people on campus. By the time I left, we were at 40. And we had like a diversity committee on campus and all this other stuff because of the poetry work that we did.
Wow. What the hell?
How did you get into the poetry work over there?
Yeah.
Well, I was hooping, and you ever do something and like the work you put in just ain't, like the results ain't coming?
Yeah.
That was me with basketball. Like my freshman year, they're not playing me a lot, and the coach says, yo, you're good enough to play, but the politics are I paid a lot of people to be here, and we didn't pay you. Right. So I can't play you as much, but next year I got you on scholarship. So they
give
me a scholarship.
It's worse now, I feel like.
Was this coach African-American?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Okay.
So, but I get it. I'm like, the politics of, you paid somebody on scholarship to be there, and, people are like, hey, you ain't playing the person we paid. What's going on? I'm like, hey, next year's my year. He retires.
Oh, damn. Oh, my God.
And then a new coach came in, and he brought in his 2 sons.
Oh, yeah. There's no room for nobody.
Nope.
And his 2 sons played my position.
Bro, are you serious?
So, yeah. And I just took that as a sign from God. I'm like, hey, basketball got me here, but basketball is evidently not what I'm supposed to keep doing. So I left hoop and prayed about it. And then I found spoken word. And I was like, hey, man, poetry will be what it is for me. And
how supportive with the fan, bro? I mean, as a career choice, poetry, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
like, what was the process like in the beginning, trying to get it serious, make it serious?
Man, so I'll go into that.
Go ahead.
So, like, the process of trying to become a professional poet is the same process of becoming any professional artist, which I'm sure you guys have gone through.
Right.
You just work a regular job until the art pays for itself.
Right.
And so I was just like, I was a teacher. I was working at nonprofits. I had a degree, so it's not like I was like hard on cash. It was just, if I'm hard on cash because I'm putting cash into my art.
Right.
And so it's like, yo, like, for instance, with this studio, it's like, oh, well, I made a good paycheck this week, but I got to put money on the studio space. I got to get new mics. I got to get the lighting and all the other stuff. True. So for me, it looked like, I got to get gas to get to the show. I got to have merch to sell at the show. I'm not getting paid a bunch from the show. So it was paying my dues, doing a bunch of free shows in the beginning, sucking at stuff, getting a lot better, writing a whole lot.
Are these shows the local poetry nights and all that stuff?
Everything from, I did churches, I did coffee shops, I did poetry venues, from Los Angeles all the way up to Reading. I was like, yo, cuz.
Where would you find out? Where would you find in the beginning was like your biggest demographic?
Black women.
Oh, wow.
Black women love poetry.
What would be like the venues that you would experience that? I would envision maybe it being
comedy
church.
Clubs.
Really?
Yeah.
Comedy
like
clubs.
Tommy T's or what?
Tommy T's was my spot.
There you go.
Tommy T's and Laughs Unlimited and Sac. Sac was my main hub.
Yep.
Because when I moved back from Reading and I came here, I was like, okay, Stockton ain't got nothing for me, so I need to find another spot.
Right.
And so Sac had the most options. And so what it looked like for me in the beginning was just 3 nights a week driving to Sac, performing as much as I could. Wow. And then inevitably I got my features in every Sacramento location, my recommendations, and I was like, okay, I want to tour. So I toured, did 25 shows in 12 cities. I was like, cool.
Wow.
5 of them out of state. Got married, stopped doing poetry for a year to focus on being a married man. Told my wife, I'm like, hey, I want to get back into it. And then I did a 150 show tour.
Damn.
Around the world before I was on the show.
Okay, now when did this like? Hold on, I gotta break down like the year process of this because it's like when you say when you got into college and when did this start going on tour?
Graduated college 2014. Okay. Started doing poetry in 2012. 2015, I get really involved in poetry in Sac. 2016, I tour and do my like 30 shows.
Wow.
2017, I'm married, taking the year off.
Wow.
That was actually the first year I tried out for America's Got Talent and didn't make the show.
Okay.
And then 2018 to 2019, I toured.
And did 150?
150. Went as far as New Zealand, Canada, Mexico, and 36 states.
Brandon, I'm not gonna lie. Like when I think of like these contestants on America's Got Talent, my thought is like they've been doing it in the living room, and then they come out on the show, and then they turn into superstars. So you're saying you've been putting in the work way before you even hopped on the show?
Hella long.
Yeah, we haven't even got to. That's true.
Like okay.
And then 2019, my wife Prego.
Okay.
So I'm like, hey, need health insurance, and this poetry don't provide that.
Right.
So let's bounce out and go get health insurance. And then I start teaching.
Oh, really?
And then, because I was teaching beforehand, but I became a full-time teacher again. But then after that, I tried out for the show again.
What did you teach? I'm sorry.
English.
English?
Yeah. Okay. So I've taught at 3 schools. In fact, the first year I taught wasn't my first year being married. And those kids are freshmen in college right now.
Oh, wow. Damn, another congratulations, bro. You got people actually, okay.
Yeah, so, like, I had because I taught at a small charter school, and I taught every freshman, and we had about, like, 112.
You confirmed it for me. One of my boys like, bro, I think he substituted for me once.
Yeah. And
I was like, okay.
110 of my 112 freshmen are in college.
Wow.
That's tight.
Wow, yeah, that's something that, do you actually, like, connect with them still to this day, or like reach out, like keep going?
About like 20 of them came to the show.
Oh, they would come back and support you.
Oh yeah,
see, that's a blessing, bro.
Because I was invested in them, like they knew it. Because even after I left, I came to graduation. I came to basketball games. I came to badminton games. Mm-hmm. Like I was still around.
Right.
They would hit me up on Instagram, and I'd be like, "Hey yo, I'm here. Like if you need me, tap in." But no, 2019 I try out for the show. 2020 I make the show. I find out I make.
What made you want to go? You just did 150 cities, right? Or what made you want to be like, I still need America's Got Talent, or I should go do this America's Got Talent?
It was a barometer.
Okay. What does that mean?
it was a measuring stick for me.
Okay.
Because like, I knew I got better, but how much better? Right. So like, not only did I do AGT, but I did this thing called Individual World Poetry Slam, which is like the top 150 poets from around the world come to one city and compete.
Okay.
And I was number 17.
Oh, damn.
Of 150.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the first time I did it, I was 127.
So you're seeing growth.
So I was like, yo, how much better am I?
Right.
And so I'm like, these were my two measuring sticks. And then I fucked around and made the show and then won the show. But no, so like
that's my dog, man.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Being from Stockton, the scene that was pretty epic, man.
And so like in relation to your question, like the way it looked was 2015 when I start doing poetry heavy in SAC, my folks are like, hey, this is a good hobby for him, because I only moved back to Stockton because I bought an engagement ring for a woman, and then we broke up, and this is before FaceTime, so it was on Skype. We broke up on Skype, and then I lost my job 2 weeks later, and then I lost my apartment 2 weeks after that.
Oh, it's going
and then I had to move back.
So basically, fam's looking at you like, Brandon, you're going through some shit. We get it. Like, you know, you know what I mean?
And they're like, yo, this is his outlet, so let's give it to him. And so, and plus I'm an adult, and they're like, yo, side note, love this Do for Love song.
Side note.
But no, they're like, yo, have fun, do what you do. And I'm like, yo, like, I really want to pursue this. And my mom's like, okay, good, like, just keep doing your job. And as long as the job is paying, and then, you know, when poetry pays enough, they're
emphasizing
go do it.
They're emphasizing it for sure.
And so that's 2015. 2016, when I'm touring, I'm still working a regular job. And then I get fired because I took a sick day to go do a show. And for me, I'm thinking nothing of it. I post about it on Instagram.
No.
And then they see it, and they call me into the office my next day back, and they're like, hey, sick days aren't allowed to be used for personal days. You're let go.
Wow.
And it was actually God taught me so much in my humility, because he was like, yo, what I'm building in you has to be built in integrity, and you can't lie to build anything good. So you have to swallow that, move forward.
Okay.
So I swallow it.
Look at it.
So the way you're saying, you should have actually told them what you were doing, and if they understood that, they understood that.
Yeah. If they understood that, they understood that. If they didn't, they didn't. Because guess what? A nigga went to a immense humbling spot, which is how I knew my wife was going to hold me down, because I met my wife in my most humbling moment because I got let go. And then I met her when I was selling DirecTV in Costco.
Yep, I'm listening. Yep.
And I was working for some offshoot company, making like $12 an hour, standing in Costco, selling DirecTV, which don't nobody want to buy that shit.
I'm walking past them every time, bro.
You feel me? And I'm the guy who graduated from college with a degree, with 2 degrees. And then niggas who I know who are still in town walking into the store like, hey, yo, B, what's good, bro?
Right.
You good? And I'm like, oh, yeah. They're like, man, didn't you go to college?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, what? Why you here selling DirecTV? And my wife held me down in that season.
Damn.
When we was just dating.
Yep.
That's
and
tight.
So
That's tight.
I leave that to then teaching full time. Actually, it's one of the guys who I was pitching on DirecTV. He was like, "You'd be a really good teacher. Come to this school tomorrow, and I might have a job for you."
Really?
Wow, just like that.
Just like that.
You don't have to get a license to be a teacher?
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But you can get a provisional license.
Oh,
so I was actually in school becoming a teacher while teaching.
There you go.
Wow, he put you on.
It's like an apprenticeship.
Factual. And then what happened after that was, so in that season, my family's like, "You lost your fucking job doing poetry?"
You're still in boxes?
You feel me? And they're like, how's this work? And then I'd start teaching, and everybody's like, "Oh, he got it out of his system. He's good.
He's got a career."
You feel me?
Yeah.
And then I quit to go do the 150 show tour, and they're like, "Bro, again?
The vision, Mom."
And then so I knock out the 150 show tour, get wife's pregnant, and my mom's like the biggest supporter in the family. My grandma's the hater. But that, like, my grandma's like an old Southern woman from Oklahoma. So she's like, "Yo, you get a job, you get a pension, and then you don't leave that joint until after you done."
Right, understood.
And I'll fast forward. I win the show. Everybody's celebrating. I come back home, and the first thing my grandma says is, "Yo, you ain't gonna quit that job now, is you?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Because I was working at Delta at the time," and she was like, "Yeah, this poetry thing, that money gonna go away. You need a job." And I'm like, "Grandma, I was good enough to win America's Got Freaking Talent, and you still want me to have a day job?" I was like, "Come on, fam." But
it's the generation though. Can't blame them, because I feel like my grandma's on that same tip. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like they're used to 9 to 5. They're used to stability. You know what I mean? In this world that we're living in right now, there's no stability at all. I feel like.
You feel me?
Not world, but like entrepreneurship thing that we're talking about.
And not even just that, man. Like they kind of like we all minorities in the room. They have an understanding of a very different world than the one that we grew up in. Like my grandma grew up in segregated water fountains. You feel me?
Damn. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Back of the bus treatment, and she's like, "Yo, like they will take this from you whenever they want. So make sure that you have whatever. Make sure that you hold on to whatever you have, so that way can't nobody take it from you." Like that's my grandma's mentality. Is like, "Yo, the only thing that you have is what you earn, and if you're relying on other people, then you can't earn it." And I'm like, "Well, I'm building mine." Like, and so it's just a whole different world, man.
Nah, I bet.
Whole different world.
I want to touch on America's Got Talent just a little bit.
I was going to bring something.
Okay. I said, just what was one of the favorite memories from it? If you look back, like you can say off the top, one of your favorite memories from that time period.
Genuinely, my favorite memory is the hotel. So like my season was so different because we were all quarantined in a hotel with each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
So normally folks is just, they put you in a hotel, but like folks ain't never there because they just traveling around LA, hanging out, doing stuff. But with COVID, nobody could leave.
Right.
And so,
so you're in a.
This is when I had seen the screens and all that. The audience were screens, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like we was just with all the other artists. So all we had was each other. And so like they brought us disgusting ass food to the room.
Damn.
But we were right by Universal Studios, and there's an In-N-Out by there. There's a great Mexican food spot. There's a couple Asian food spots, Panda Express, and some other food. And so I got to know the security guard, and this is my favorite moment. I was like, "Hey, just so you know, you didn't see us." And he was like, "What you mean?" I was like, "In like 5 minutes, you didn't see us." And he looked at me. He was like,
"Come down."
"Didn't see you where?" And I was like, "Exactly."
Yeah.
And then we walked away, and then like 10 of us just walked out of the hotel.
Oh, you a real
and then just went over to In-N-Out for the one time. Came back. I handed him a burger and fries, and I was like, "Lactose intolerant, right?" He was like,
okay.
Damn. Hey,
tight.
shout out
That's
to Brandon,
tight.
bro. You
That's
a real
tight.
one,
I
bro.
ain't gonna lie.
And you came through for the contestants too. So at the end of the day, damn, bro.
So it's basically a whole networking event in that hotel every night, basically.
Because since nobody else was there, we would just watch each other. Because like when we weren't on a particular episode, everybody would gather in my room and we would watch the episode that's currently happening. And we'd be like, hey, let's see what's happening with everybody. Let's see who's performing.
That's
tight.
And it would be hella fun.
You build some friendships in that?
Oh, I still got lifelong homies.
Shout out.
Shout out to
Selena Graves, Shakira McGrath, Double Dragons. Oh man, you guys split up, so you guys aren't a group no more. But
it's all good.
Shout out to my man Austin and Joey. The wild man that he is.
Talk about performances. You have a most favorite and a least favorite from when you were up there? I mean, because they all look great from an audience standpoint, but like you personally critiquing yourself?
No least favorite. Favorite was the one for my daughter.
There you go.
At that point, I never thought I would win the show.
Right. You won with that one, correct?
Yeah, I did. So that was my last one.
Yeah, that's amazing, bro.
But I just remember, because essentially how it works is you have to pitch your either songs or your dances or your poems that you want to do.
Really?
Because they have to clear them.
Really?
So especially
for national television, for sure. Yeah.
Especially with songs and people singing them, if they're not, you have to pay for it. And so they already have a preset list of songs that they bought. And so it's like, hey, they highly recommend you sing from this list of like 1,000 songs that they have. Unless it's an original.
They're copyrighted and all that stuff.
So they ain't got to pay no more extra money.
Gotcha.
But with mine, it was all, I was like the enigma of the group because they were like, we can't tell you what to say.
Right.
We can't tell you what not to say, except for cursing. You can't curse on TV. But they're like, are you sure you want to do this poem for your kids to close out? You don't want to do something different?
Really? They're trying to stir you?
Because they're like, yo, we like the poem, but like, you know, you're coming off of just doing like a really emotional poem about your dad. Like, do you want to do something, you know, do you want to do something to your mom or something like that? I was like, oh no, like if I can close, I'm closing to my kids. Because guess what? This will be a gift my daughter will forever be able to keep.
Man.
And that was all that I went through. I was like, if I win or lose, it don't matter. I'm like, I already won. A poet's never been on the show. A poet never made it this far. I'm like, if I didn't get the millie, I never thought I'd get the millie. So I was like, I'm good. Which wasn't even $1 million.
Respect.
So that tax is real, ain't it?
Bro, so anyway.
Yeah. I don't even want to, I hate talking about people's finances. I ain't gonna
I've told this story 1,000,000 times.
Okay,
so I can tell you.
Yeah.
So short of it, you win $1 million present day value.
Present day value, meaning
the first person who won the show won $1 million. The dollar that they won was more valuable than the dollar we have now because of inflation. So I won $700,000.
Okay.
That you got taxed on.
Then I got taxed on.
Okay.
So and taxes took $450.
God, it's real life half. God damn, that was more than half, honestly.
So I got $250 out of it.
Damn,
which is the largest payday I've still ever
had. That's a hit for sure.
I'm like,
that's what I'm talking about. Damn, bro. And they believed in you then. They believed in you in that. At that moment, they seen the vision.
Did you see any other special treatment being the first spoken word on AGT besides kind of like them really can't controlling you type thing?
That was the biggest cheat code.
Yeah.
I'd probably say the other cheat code I had was the other artists didn't get known outside of like their little VO package before their performance. You got to know me through the poems.
You did.
Right.
You did.
Right.
Like when somebody's up there singing like a Celine Dion song, it's like, oh, they're a Celine Dion fan. Or they just like the song. But when I'm up there and you're hearing me talk about like, yo, my sister died. Or like, I didn't think I was going to come home alive. It's like, oh no, like I'm invested in branding the person, not just this poem. And that was like one of my biggest cheat codes.
People actually wanted to come back and listen to you. You know what I'm saying? Not to hear their favorite song that this person actually might perform. They want to come back and listen to you.
Factual.
That's a trip, bro. That's a trip. What was it like actually, like, you know, other than like when you were up, did you get nervous, bro? Like what was your most nerve-wracking moment on that stage? The first one, the last one? Was it like, you know what I'm saying? Like
the last one.
Yeah.
So like the show is usually everybody's live. You have to perform live. So that's how the show normally goes. But my season, they switched it up since with COVID, and what they ended up doing was they let some people be pre-taped. But the way you pre-tape is it's like horse, you have to call your shot. So it's like, hey, you have 2 takes. You either say on your first take before the take,
this is it.
This is it.
Oh, wow.
Or you say before the first take, this is my practice. And so if you have a great first take,
I was just about to ask.
It just becomes B-roll.
Get the fuck out of here.
And then the second take becomes your real take.
You might stutter on the second one.
I think I like the live performance. I'll shoot
because the live one is just like, hey, cuz,
this is it. You practice for this.
You know what I mean? This is all I have.
Yeah.
And so I hated that because every other performance I did was live. And so live, I'm like, hey, even if I mess up, freestyle. I'm in there. I can get this done. But with a pre-tape, I'm like, oh, frick. So what happened was I actually fumbled horribly in my first take.
So you did practice run first. You wanted that one.
There you go.
Smart.
Let's
go.
I looked at them. I was like, practice.
There you go.
And they were like, okay. And then as soon as I got done messing up, I was like, frick, yes, let's go. And they looked at me and they're like, you just messed up really badly. Why are you so happy? I was like, oh, because I know if I messed up now, I'm going to be great now. And they're like, okay. And I was like Kobe, zoned in. And then as soon as they said action and the camera on the crane came down, in it.
That's what it is.
That's amazing,
you just
bro.
hit that zone, bro.
How important is discipline to you?
Bro, I got a whole YouTube series. By the way, subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Subscribe to Brandon Leake, man.
Brandon, Brandon, Leake, Leake. You'll see me eating a donut. We drop two videos a week. We're doing that for the next 3 years. I already have a year's worth of content pre-made. So
there you go.
You're going to get content from me.
There you go. Go follow, like, comment, and subscribe.
The pictures of me eating a donut when I first went to Voodoo Donuts in Portland.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Voodoo Donuts, yeah. I just want to shout out Munchies Donuts, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah, shout out Munchies Donuts. Too, if you guys, Munchies Mini Donuts, bro. They're
fire.
I like the slide. Shoot, man.
What was how important? Wait, hold on. You didn't answer. How important is discipline, though?
Oh, discipline is wildly important. I was saying I got a YouTube series called Discipline Over Motivation. The reality is motivation is very minimally important, but discipline is most certainly important. And I struggle with it a lot.
Struggled with it, or you struggle, like, what do you mean?
Still currently struggling with discipline. Because, like, I'm disciplined with things that I enjoy. And for instance, I enjoy working out, but I have tons of excuses not to work out. I got 2 kids who keep me up late at night, who wake up early in the morning, and it's like, yo, like the moment I have to rest, I'm trying to sleep,
trying to relax,
you know what I mean? I'm trying to hang out with wifey, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to, you know what I mean? Enjoy my time, but it's like, hey, yo, Brandon, man, like if you want to look the way you want to look,
or be the best you that you feel like you can be possible, it's gonna take
that discipline. You feel me? And Kobe Bryant had a quote that like I'm probably gonna get tattooed on me. And he said, I don't negotiate with myself.
Ooh, I don't negotiate with myself. Meaning what you get from that?
The whole quote is, I don't negotiate with myself. I set a contract with myself. I work out this time every day. I fell asleep at 3 a.m. yesterday. I was up at 4:30 this morning training. He's like, I don't negotiate. You know, because people wake up and they be like, I can work out in like an hour.
Push it back. I can push everything back an hour tomorrow with me doing this.
He's like, none of that. He's like, I made the decision, and there's no negotiations.
Damn.
It's like contract signed.
We've seen those results too if you do that shit.
You feel me? And I'm like, today's my day 1 of not negotiating. I worked out, 5 a.m.
Oh wow, your day, bro, for real?
Day 1.
Where you work? Do you go home or gym?
Oh, I built a gym.
Oh, let's go. Are you really? Yeah, ain't no going back now.
You gotta stay consistent.
They don't come outside and motivate. Daddy, keep going.
You feel me? My wife and I had a hard conversation, and she gave me a severe piece of game that she heard from somebody, and she said, yo, imagine, like, you know, you not being as fit as you want to be, or not being as, like, where you want to be in life, and your kids ask, like, yo, how come you're not there? And it'd be like, because of you.
Wow.
That's because we'll use kids as the excuse. We'll be like, dang, man, I'd work out, but, you know, the kids. Like, I'd eat healthier, but the kids. It's like,
I dare you to say that to them, right?
You feel me? Like, say that to them.
Right. That's deep.
That's
deep. That's deep.
Touching on fatherhood a little bit, doing my research and you being vocal about it, knowing that your father wasn't being present or not being present, how did that change your way you parent?
Probably the biggest thing I learned is doing the opposite of something bad. Doing the opposite of something bad does not mean you were doing the right thing.
Doing the opposite of something bad does not mean you were doing the right thing.
Yeah. Because what I would oftentimes try to do with my life would just be like, hey, yo, cuz, like, that's not the right thing, So let me just do the opposite of it. And morality does not swing that way. Morality is in the middle, and there's bad on both sides. So if you swing from bad to the other side, it's just as bad. It's like politics. Like left wing, right wing, both niggas is horrible.
Right.
Like it's just whether or not you find that good in the middle.
Damn. Let's talk about it. Okay.
So like finding that good balance in the middle is where that morality lies of what being a good dad is. And so like, you know, because
you have an example? I'm sorry.
Yeah, like my dad was absent. So the opposite of that is being present. But if you're not healthily present, you could do more damage than the absent father.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Damn, that's true.
Healthily present, that's true.
Like, there's a lot of people who had dads who got bad daddy issues because they dads was horrible people.
They're in the house every night, too.
You feel me? At the crib every day, being horrible to their kids.
Right.
And I'm like, no. So, like, it's not just about being present because I'm gone a lot because of my job. But when I'm there, I'm best dad material.
There you go.
You feel me?
I got something for the children. I ain't gonna cap because I gotta know, man. Because you got 2 daughters, correct?
I got a son and a daughter.
Oh,
My
yeah,
daughter's 2 and my son is 9 months.
2. Okay, wait. Your daughter's 2.
My son is 9 months.
And your son is 9 months. Oh wow! Congratulations to wifey too, by the way. That's okay.
Wifey, like we ain't having no more kids.
You ain't having no more? We got the boy and the girl.
Shoot, my wife is like, my sleep told you we ain't having no more kids.
Don't ask me no more.
Like, until I get 2 years of recovery sleep, it's no more kids.
Now, what would you want next, though, boy or girl?
Oh, it's all cake from here.
It's
all frosting from here, man. Don't matter. We're gonna adopt a kid.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I for sure am adopting a kid.
Perfect. I don't know if this is too far, but is there a preference in ethnicity?
Not necessarily. I mean, I'm in an interracial marriage, so like, you know, for myself, I have a heart and affinity for black kids because they're the least adopted.
There we go.
And so
my dad was adopted. He's black, so you're right.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I just want to make my home a place for a child or two who otherwise wouldn't find it. You know what I mean? Like because I know what's gonna happen, and I'm prepared for it mentally. My wife isn't. They'll hit 15, and they're gonna be like, I want to know my real parents, and be like, well, we are as real as ever. But also, if you want to know your bio parents, I have their paperwork. You can get to know them, and I'm okay with that. My wife is not. She's like, you'd be willing to like just let them go, and I'm like, yeah. Like I had a stepdad who was, by all intents and purposes, not necessarily the greatest stepdad in the world. But I'm like, and I wanted to know my real dad. Like, and as much as that may have hurt that person, I would hope he would understand the longing of like, yo, I want to know why I'm here.
Right.
So, yeah, I definitely want more kids.
Do you have a date on when you want to be able to adopt? Like, is it like, I don't know how old you are right now. I feel like JG's
really trying to get
but
into
it's like,
kids
are you going to keep having, when's your cutoff limit to when you don't want to get any more children?
Oh, cutoff limit.
Like 40
when
years
I'm
old?
40.
Yeah.
So I'm 30 right now. I just turned 30 May 4th.
Just.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday.
Happy belated birthday, bro.
Belated for sure. What'd you do?
Oh, man. Chilled the hell out.
Nice.
Because we've been in post for this special, which I'm heavily involved in. I got an album dropping in like 2 months.
When you say album, you mean?
An album of spoken word.
Oh.
So we were in the top 10 nominations for spoken word album of the year at the Grammys.
Yes. Yep.
So a lot of people don't know.
You say
So I did a combo album with my boy Black Chakra out of Baltimore. And so we had an album called Level. If you haven't heard it, I'd recommend you give it a listen. It's probably it's the best spoken word album that came out.
Wow.
But the problem is spoken word album of the year at the Grammys includes audiobooks. So my boy Jay Ivy got nominated because only 5 get nominated. We were in the top 10. But he lost because the other people nominated were Barack Obama, Dave Chappelle, Don Cheadle, and John Lewis.
It's definitely a great list to be in, though.
Yeah, but
definitely
damn,
a great list to be in.
Yeah.
And all them niggas just did audiobooks.
That's crazy.
So it's just audiobooks. So this upcoming year, spoken word should have its own category, and audiobooks have its own category.
Nice.
Which then means I'm going to win.
It was like podcasting and media, like radio when they had the awards. Like there was no podcasting awards, so they put them all in one, and they didn't.
Yeah, because then every year it's gonna be freaking Charlemagne and them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Club, yeah.
Very true. You're killing them with the numbers. I think you kind of already answered the question I was gonna ask. I was really gonna say, like, what's marriage like for you? How's it been for your process?
Oh, difficult.
Yeah.
Difficult. She's my partner. I love her to death, but it's she married a local poet. She didn't marry America's Got Talent winning poet. We went through so many life changes in 3 months.
Wow. Say that. Damn. Say that.
I can only imagine, man.
My daughter was born on leap year, February 29th.
Oh, wow.
COVID shuts down the world 2 weeks after she's born. The day COVID shuts down the world, I get my golden buzzer.
From America, yeah.
And then my daughter is now 3 months old, and they're like, hey, since you're on the show, you have to go to LA for the next 2.5 months.
Man.
Side note, your family can't come.
Damn.
Yeah. Like that was something that I was thinking in the hotel. I was like, is he by himself? Like I think you were, huh?
And still working at Delta online.
How soon are you into being married at this moment? After February 29th, now she's born, but like
2.5 years.
2.5 years at this point?
Yeah, 2.5 years of marriage.
Gotcha.
Right? And like
definitely puts a wall there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and
so
like,
are you really gonna go do this?
Yeah.
Like you're really gonna go to LA right now type thing?
And she was so supportive. She was
amazing.
like, yo, go.
Oh wow.
Like this is your
Amazing.
dream. Pursue it. The hard part came after I won. Because after I won, it was really simple because everything was on Zoom. So I was able to perform online a bunch. But when I hit the road now, my wife used to come. Like that 150 show tour, we were in New Zealand together for 2 weeks.
Together.
Nice.
We were in New York for like 5 days.
Right.
But now it's COVID and we got a newborn. My wife's at home.
Yeah.
She ain't on the road with me.
Yeah.
So now I'm city to city, tour to tour. And she's like,
it's a lot of work.
I'm at home with the kids.
With the kids though. The house and the kids. Yeah.
And it's like, that becomes hard. Because now even when I come home, hey, look, what does date night look like? With a kid.
Damn. And time just doesn't stop. They're growing.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And so like when we finally got to a point with our daughter where it was like, hey, yo, cuz, like we can finally go out, pregnant.
Number 2. Number 2's on the way.
And then you reset. Because now my daughter's completely capable of like going to grandma's house, spending the night. But we have a newborn who needs her 24/7.
Right. Right.
And now it's like, if we go on a date night, little man's with us. If we go anywhere, little man with us. Daughter can be somewhere else. But little man is here. And so now we never get a break from kids.
Never.
And so now it's like, my wife and I, that's why like this next 4 years is really important for us. Because we're like, hey, we're not having kids for another 4. Because when we adopt a kid, it's going to be in the next 3 to 4. Because we want time for just us.
Right.
Because we want my son to hit a year so that way he can start going over to grandma's house and spend the night with sister. And they can hang out.
Yep.
And then now,
date night.
Date night.
Even if we don't go not a damn place.
Right.
Even if it's just us at the crib.
Couple hours though, man.
You feel me? And it's just quiet.
It's just movies and
you feel me?
Grapes.
Order in some pizza. Like, yo, cuz we ain't doing a damn thing. Right. Or let's work out together. Let's do whatever we would like to do together. The family walk we normally do, let's walk it without the kids.
Yeah.
Keep it going, but
you feel me? Just enjoy time. And so yeah, fam, this put a large strain on us, but it provided more time than I've ever had. Awesome. Because working a 9 to 5, I would be gone.
You'd be absent.
I'd be gone a bunch. I'd be gone before the kids woke up, and I'd be gone, and I wouldn't get back until the kids were about halfway done with dinner and we're about to go to sleep.
Right.
But that's now, my wife misses me for like 10 days out the month, but the other 20, I'm there all day.
Yep. When she wakes up, helping her with the breakfast, all whatever it may be.
I take the kids for the first 3 hours of the day.
There you go.
So you cooking breakfast for the kids? Are you like a cereal type dad? What you do?
Oh no, I get down.
You get down?
I get down.
Waffles, daddy. You getting all that?
Oh man, dog. Like I make quiche
Oh shit!
Okay,
like
okay.
I make Cajun style chicken with like a nice little sautéed like cheese dish.
Wow.
Like
Hey,
I do stuffed pasta shells. Like I actually have a cooking show coming out on my YouTube channel.
Let's do some cooking content
Really?
together.
Yeah.
And then we all gotta do that.
I'm like, I get down,
we
bro.
like to throw down too, bro.
Hell
So
yeah.
we gotta do
Hell
something.
yeah.
That'd be tight.
Like I just bought like a really nice like pressure cooker too, and
yeah.
I'm about to get down.
Oh yeah, I've never tried the air
pressure
fryer
cooker,
yet.
you
They be
know,
talking about
F
the
up
air
the game
fryers.
Uh,
with that one.
You feel me?
That's gonna be nice.
That's the ones that suffocates it, and then basically it's ready in 5 minutes or whatever, something like that.
Yeah, depending on what you put in there. So like if you put pork belly, that's like a 6-hour joint.
Okay.
In order to get it like tender to.
Super tender to like fork and just eat it type shit.
Next,
You feel me?
Falling off the bone type shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just used it to make this really bomb turkey chili.
Yeah.
Turkey chili.
Turkey chili. I don't really eat red meat no more outside of burgers.
Like
Try
you
to-
don't eat steak.
I don't really like steak.
Damn.
I've never been a steak dude, but I make a bomb steak.
You make a bomb steak?
I make a bomb steak,
I can't make a steak for shit. I ain't gonna cap. My girl gotta make all my steaks.
bro. It's the hardest part that
You just said that on camera too, bro.
Shout
That's
out
bad.
Becky. Yeah,
That's
shout out
terrible.
Becky. I can't do it, bro. I can't do
Yeah,
it,
bro. You gotta make a steak.
the hard part for me was just learning how to get the temperatures,
Yeah.
because like I'm not I'm an abomination to most steak eaters. I'm not the guy to like have a bunch of red in the middle.
So you like a well done steak?
I like I like a little thin layer of red in the middle, but that's just because I don't trust it.
Okay. You gonna be good regardless.
He's a medium well.
Yeah, I'm a medium well.
Yeah.
You feel me? But like I can cook medium rare to perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I need.
butter basted joint. You feel me? With the aromatics, I'm game.
So you know what it looked like to you know how to make.
I know how to push. I know how to touch it and know what temperature I'm at.
Wow, that's tight.
You do the touch
got the
test.
finger test.
Yeah, man. I'm trying out for like dead ass. Then people don't know this, but next year, after my son's a year old, I'm trying out for MasterChef.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Oh, bro, we gotta do some food content.
Yeah. We need some content for sure.
Hey.
I
I
want
to
to
see.
the process
Before,
for that's
we'll
gonna
let
be
you
fun.
know if
So,
you're
like,
ready
hour
for
away.
MasterChef.
Hey,
How
I
about
got
that?
you, cuz. I got you. Make some bomb chicken tacos.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
running Berea right now.
Hell
Gotta get
yeah,
down.
I need that.
Now do you book yourself or do you have an agent, manager?
Well, when I did the 150 show joint, I booked it all.
How do you book your own 150 shows, man?
Yeah, we need some games.
I sent out 2,000 emails.
Oh wow.
I made 8,000 phone calls.
Oh yeah, you actually did a lot of.
So
fucking
while I was teaching and I had an off period, my entire off period. Calling, double checking, making sure anything and everything is set up.
Right.
I don't know how I did it because I'm not organized enough to book a tour, and I'm like I couldn't do it now, but I have way too much on my plate. But now I have a manager, I have a booking agent, I have 2 people who I pay full-time staff members. I have so if you ever see anything on my social media, I didn't post it.
Okay.
Damn, that's fucking nice.
If you see any of my logos, like my visionary stuff, the I Am Poetry on the back, I didn't make it.
That's hard body.
That's tight, bro.
Damn, you really got a team.
You got a whole team.
So I got an assistant who does all my bookings. She anybody who sends me emails. Like I was gonna send y'all to her at first to put it on the calendar, but I was like, I know today. It's my mom's birthday.
That's
so
tight.
Today?
Yeah.
Today's your mom's
He said
birthday?
that.
yeah.
Oh fuck.
He said it. He said.
Oh no. She's in New Orleans right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
yeah.
damn, we
She's-
didn't. Okay, yep, go ahead.
Nah.
We didn't even shout her out though. Shout out mom.
Shout
Happy
out
birthday,
moms.
Moms.
Hey, this has been a great episode. I'm so happy. Hey, shout out moms for sure, for
Man.
sure.
But yeah,
She
nah.
created a
like,
superstar. To be honest.
we
Facts.
I'm trying to think. What was the question? That I'm.
Just talking
The
about
team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the team. So like, and then my boy Ferris handles like all my media. So all my graphic design work, all my social media posting. He's the one who made the website for the grocery store that we're trying to start out
That's tight.
here in town.
Let's
That's
talk
what
about
we're gonna
that.
talk-
Yeah,
yeah.
let's talk about
Yeah.
that right now.
So-
Honestly, I mean, what's going on over at the Big Lots?
Man,
The
so
Kmart.
No, Kmart, huh? I said Big Lots. My bad. I remember.
It is a
going
big
to
lot.
It's a
though.
big
It is
lot.
a
Yeah,
big
it is.
lot.
I
That's how I
remember,
took
bro, being a kid going over there all the time. Man, that shit was crazy. I was like, when I seen him doing this, is awesome.
So the problem that I'm running into right now is just finances. So like I have a business strategy, but it's essentially a $70 million project.
Yeah, I've seen that. I was like, how is that even possible?
So you have to buy the building, which is about $8 million.
Yeah.
Then you have to tear down the building, tear up all the concrete in the parking lot.
Is that because it's not stable no more? Like the building is.
It's just if you're gonna start a new store, you can't have a raggedy parking lot like the one that they currently rocking.
Right.
And so you have to repave, redo the building, electrical POS system. You have to get all of your freezers. You have to get all of your like shelves, your counters, employees.
Right.
And then your distribution people, truckers, all that stuff, security, insurance. And then you have to have enough capital to last 2 years. So that's where 70 million.
Yeah.
He said,
that's how we get to that number.
Yeah.
That's how we get to that.
But I'm like, I could get the finance. I have a company of black-owned truckers who are like, hey, we'll haul your food for free for 6 months.
That's tight.
So those type of things, okay.
I have a black-owned paving company who's like, yo, we'll pave the entire parking lot for you for free. You just have to get materials.
That's cutting down some costs.
That's
I see.
cutting the costs.
I got a black-owned electrician company who's like, just get materials, we'll wire it.
There you go.
So the only problem is
Buying it.
$7 million to buy it, and then another $8 million to rebuild.
Why don't we open up a GoFundMe?
Yeah, like how
well, I have a donation joint. The only reason I didn't go GoFundMe is because of how much they take.
Like, what's the percent on that? I'm sorry.
It's about like 8.5, 9.
Yeah, something like that. And that's
So,
what he's asking.
Like if I were to raise
As soon as he
7
hits
million,
it, they take
you feel me? Like if I raise 7, I would have to raise like closer to like 8, 8.5 in order to actually get it.
Right.
But I do have. So this will be the first time anybody hears this. You guys know that construction happening downtown by the movie theater?
Yeah.
So they're going to build apartments there by visionary home builders. The bottom floor of it, they want it to be a grocery store. They asked me,
they're really going
would
downtown.
you go here and build, and like we would give you, like you don't have to build anything. We'll give you a building, and we'll give you 18 months worth of free rent and utilities.
There we go.
And we'll give you your freezers and everything. All you have to do is stock it. And so we're probably going to run with that to start.
There you go.
What's going to be? I don't want to get too much into it because I don't. Yeah.
Hey, ask me anything.
What's going to be based on that? You want to keep it local? You want to keep it like an actual, like a food for less type store? You want local brands? What type of grocery store is that going to be?
So it's going to. So we're going to have. It's going to be. So for the downtown and because I told the folks, I'm like, yo, I'm getting that Kmart no matter what. We're going to go get it.
Let's go.
Because the second issue I was running into was there was a company who put in their $7 million bid.
After you've been doing this, see that's some haters.
They want to turn it into a car lot.
Oh man!
But there's zoning issues because it's across the street from a school.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
So legally you can't have it there. But if they were to divide the lot and then go, I think it's like a couple 100 feet.
You're good.
Sorry. Go a couple 100 feet further south, then they could build it. But they're not going to do all that. But no, we're going to I want it to be quality groceries. So I want it to be, the distributor I have is the same people who distribute to Safeway.
Yep, there we go.
Because it was really, it was not even borderline. It was hella disrespectful how some of the people talked to me who were like, who owned the building. Because they were like, you know, in the community, like you need to make it affordable. You know, like they don't, like they won't build a Target there, but they'll give you a DD's discount because it's like better in the price range for them. And I'm like, do you understand that like the community that you're talking about are the main people who buy Gucci, who buy Prada, who buy Jordans, Fear of God? I'm like, we ain't broke. I'm like, we shop at all your high-end stores.
Right.
You guys just don't put them in our communities.
Right.
I'm like, so we can buy good groceries. So stop playing with me like I need to go out here and go get bottom shelf groceries to be able to make people eat. No, people will buy it if they know it's good.
Truth.
I'm like, we just don't trust y'all.
Right.
Like, I don't know why I'm paying this price at Safeway.
Right.
But they know that if it's coming from somebody in the community, they're like, oh, I got it. So to answer your question, it's going to be a regular grocery store, but we're going to have two specific aisles. We're going to have a 209 aisle, which is going to feature all 209 stuff.
Oh, nice. I love that.
So,
I love that. I was gonna say because that was one thing I wanted to touch because the produce. I hear there's a problem with the produce in local farmers that they're outsourcing now. They're going getting all the produce from Mexico and they're cutting.
Oh yeah, no, we're trying to. So we actually have a Black Farmers Association local that we're gonna tap into, and so we wanted to bring that part in. And then the other aisle we have is a 619 aisle.
Really?
And the 619 is June 19th.
Oh, wow.
Juneteenth.
Yep, for Juneteenth.
Wow. And so a strictly Black-owned aisle. So that's anything awesome. Black-owned from around the country is there. So we're going to have, like, a whole local section where it's like, hey, Oka, like, I want to get cookies. Let's see if it's in the 209 section. Mm-hmm. Or it'd be like, hey, Oka, like, I want to get some chips. Let's hit the 619 section, see if they have any, and if they don't, I'll get the Doritos.
Rag snacks.
You feel me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Caribbean type, you never know.
You feel me? Like, and like people will be surprised. It's like, oh yo, like, dang, there's a Black-owned coffee bean. It's like, yeah, like,
yeah, that's
like,
awesome.
There's a local person who makes like really delicious desserts. Be like, yeah, you just gotta be tapped in.
Right. That is true.
But we have a big vision for that whole lot though. Like we want to put a restaurant there.
Oof. Well, we're talking about Kmart or the downtown lot?
The Kmart.
Kmart, cool. So it's gonna be bigger than a grocery store.
Yeah. So like it's gonna be a grocery store and a gym. So there's going to be a gym attached to the grocery store. And then the parking lot's huge, as y'all know. Yeah, it's way bigger than what a gym or a grocery store would hold. So we want to do a restaurant. But I want the restaurant to change every 3 months. So I want to give local cooks an opportunity to have a restaurant where it's like, hey, I couldn't afford one, but I'm a good enough chef that I can make food. Oh, I got a 3-month residency at this place. Yo, come support me for these next 3 months. Yep. Because all the proceeds come to me. All I have to do is pay the rent.
Wow.
And then it's like, oh, yo, for 3 months, that soul food restaurant was banging. What's coming next month? Oh, an Asian spot? Dog.
Brandon, you onto something. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. You are onto something.
Because
coming in.
Because now, next thing you know, like for me, I'm about to bring in entertainment. Every Friday is a different person. Like, hey, yo, cuz, we got comedy coming to the restaurant this week, and there's a poet and a singer.
Oh, yeah.
You feel me? Because then next thing you know, because it's not like the South Side don't got artists who would love to open up and do work. It's just they ain't got nowhere to perform here.
Right. That's a fact. That is literally the only thing, honestly.
Wow. You feel me? And so bring in some big names and then have local folks open.
Right.
So that way folks who show up to come watch the big name see the opener.
It's going to go hand in hand. It sounds so good. I'm not going to lie to you. And the fact that it's right off the freeway.
Is there a timeline for the first part of you getting downtown?
Oh, man. That's already working.
Yeah? That's what it's coming
we just got to get my business people are like, hey, so why they want to give it to you for free for 18 months? Because, you know, they're like, I never consider anything free.
Yeah,
and so they're like,
the clause behind it.
They're like, let's look, because if they're gonna back charge you rent afterwards, then we don't want that.
Yeah.
Then we'd rather you just pay it up front, because then we could accommodate that. But yeah, so like we're just getting the logistics down. They just sent me blueprints, so they're like, yo, if you want to alter any of this, we're down. So like they're highly committed.
Why can't we merge on? Why can't you merge on with the person that actually just bought it out for the $7 million?
Oh, we can. The problem is they're a grant-based company. So Visionary Home Builders like applies for grants from the government, and then the grant money that they get then goes to projects. And
so they're not coming out of pocket.
So yeah, they're not coming out of pocket. So they have to then find a grant or write a grant that would be worth essentially $15 million. And then the $15 million would then go to procuring that. Because what they would have to do is, which is a concept I actually love, because above the grocery store downtown is going to be 6 floors of apartments. So I'm going to have a built-in clientele base.
Right, they're going to always go.
Who's going to go to the grocery store.
True. That reminds me of like downtown LA's and all the big cities.
Exactly. And I want to do the same thing downtown. I want to do the same thing out south.
Makes sense.
Be like, hey, yo, why not build like 7 units of apartments above this grocery store and gym? Because guess what? Now if you're paying rent at this apartment, I'll charge you an extra $30 a month, and you have an instant gym membership.
Right, just like that. Plugged in, tapped in, go whenever you want. That is true. Who wouldn't want that?
That's tight.
You feel me? And it's like,
because that's really what goes on at every other apartment. But then if you got a grocery store too, they're like, come on now,
dog. And like,
all I'm saying is the people better go out and support. Though. You feel me? Like, if a venture comes in like this downtown Stockton, I need the people to go out and their groceries, come support Brandon and everything he's got going on for real, man. This is amazing.
It ain't gonna be no more expensive than what you already paying.
Right.
Like that's the honest truth. The only thing that'll change is how far you potentially have to go to get it. Mm-hmm. Like, and I'm saying if you need to pick up something quick, go to wherever is closest. I'm not even gonna ask you to be OD and be like, hey yo, cuz, all I needed was some noodles. Let me drive all the way downtown to go get myself some noodles. But if you're doing your real grocery shopping, come.
Right.
It's local.
Yeah.
It's gonna be real.
Like taste better.
You feel me?
Like, feel better buying it at that point. Shit.
Yeah. Like dog, what you don't even know is if this goes well, we could completely, like we could be in any community. Mm. Like what grocery store is on the other side of 99?
Right.
The other side of 99, yeah, ain't get what you. No, I don't know what you mean.
There is, it stops at
that side of 99. There is not a single grocery store.
True, very true. None. Yeah,
not a single grocery store.
Facts.
We could be there. We just need We just need proof of concept and successful branding.
Stop letting these big businesses.
That's true, and that's big. That's a big enough step itself. You know what I mean? They just put 2 In-N-Outs within a 2-mile radius type thing, but they can't have a grocery store.
2 miles.
What grocery store is like what grocery store could people on Arch Road go to?
They had to come all the way into town and go to
Food for Less.
Food for Less off of March Lane type thing, I think, or something like that, or the Wilson Way one. Yeah,
which is not convenient to get to.
No, in the middle of town. Yeah, that's fact. So let's talk about it. That's true. That is true, man.
And that's why all they would have to do is get off the freeway like 2 exits north of it at the Kmart.
Right off the exit. Right off the exit.
It's doable.
It's a vision that should actually, yeah. I don't know why it doesn't make sense in most eyes.
How long you been pushing this, or like wanting to see the vision and wanting to push it?
Since I won. Yeah. I had a vision for it 5 years ago, but I was like, yo, man, I don't know how I'm going to get the money or the notoriety to be able to do it. Winning the show, I was like, oh, easy. I'm like, now I'm tied in. Now I'm connected. Because like, side note, Tiffany Haddish, I do not know if you will watch this, but if you watch this podcast, watch it for them. And make sure you come be a guest one time for the one time.
Facts. Say that shit.
But also, I heard that you are actually trying to start grocery stores in disenfranchised communities. There is no better place than here. You were just in Stockton with Jason Lee at Stag after that tragic stabbing. Yeah. This is an opportunity for you to come back and be a part of something special. So, Tiffany, if you would like to get to work, or Mrs. Haddish, however you would like to be referred to as, come holla at your boy. I'm here for it.
Let's do it. Come on, Tiffany. Let's make that happen. You already know. We're going to click this up and send it over. We're going to make that happen for sure.
Feel me?
Let's bring her back. I did see that. Her and Jason Lee came to Stag and everything.
Yeah. Shoot, man.
But speaking on the...
I ain't even going to mention that.
No, you're speaking on the youth, and then, I mean, being a teacher, bro, what do you feel the biggest... I had a... Let me see. I'm over here messing up today. The biggest issue that the youth is facing today.
Oh, man. I'll be 100. So what year you graduate high school?
2011.
2011?
14, 15.
14, 15. So I'm 2010. So we were all kind of in the same bracket. When we was in high school, gang banging was heavy.
Yeah.
Nigga, that's not the issue no more. Drugs. Mm-hmm. Drugs, bro. Mm-hmm. No diss to y'all sponsors. Like, you know, weed and all the jazz, like, cool. Especially for adults. Like, fully functioning adults. Bro, when we was in high school, and if folks smoked weed, a lot of people looked at you and was like, damn, nigga, you don't really give a damn about your life, bro.
No, that's
like,
no cap.
That's how people looked at it.
No cap.
When I was teaching, I had a 4.0 student who was like, oh, yeah, I smoke daily for anxiety.
Wow.
I taught freshmen.
Wow.
Oh, wow. But he was 4.0 freshman, but wow. Huh? What was the ethnicity of this individual, if you can clarify? Was he black, white, Mexican?
Mexican.
Okay, let's go.
And I'm like...
And it was okay. Like, it was, like, normal for him.
Everybody was doing something. Like, I had kids who were like, yeah, man, like, we tripped off shrooms last week.
Bro, see, no, that's true. The generation is different now.
But we just talked about it with Cool John. Remember how I basically said, like, in our generation we had to go to the kids' table. They're able to be at the adult tables, and they're seeing these things. They're getting these conversations.
And everything's more accessible, like you said, on the phone, on, iPads, whatever it is for your kid. If you ain't really marketing that, they're going to look up whatever they want to look up.
Bro.
Wow.
And dog, we grew up in a generation of drug dealers. You know what I mean? Like, the music we listen to, like the niggas we listen to is like, hey, yo, man, we pushing drugs.
Yeah, we're not
we ain't
doing
taking
them.
them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we do a little smoke, but I mean, like, we ain't doing a whole lot of extra. Mm-hmm. But, like, you know, you looking at people like these kids looking up to people like Juice WRLD and like these people who like talk heavily about like their psychedelic trips and these types of things.
Pills.
You feel me? Pills like Molly Percocet, like the whole joint. Right. And it's like, this is the example of normality that is set. But we set the standard though. Because if we was a generation of drug dealers, who we selling to? Right.
No, that's true. But I hear the quote. I kind of hate the quote too. But it's like some of these artists that are up there that you know, like the, you know, I don't want to say no names, but I've heard it, and they say, well, I'm just the artist. I'm not telling your kids to go out there and smoke weed. I'm not telling your kids to go out there. But then how do you feel about that concept is? Because it is getting out, it's still putting out an image out there still too though.
Man, so, I am an artist. I am responsible for the content I put out in the world. That. I am responsible for that. I'm not responsible for what you do with it, but I'm responsible for the message I send. If I send like, for instance, Wiz Khalifa is clear on his message. He's like, yo, I smoke. Mm-hmm. I produce weed. I smoke weed. Him and Snoop, they are clear. And they won't be mad if somebody comes to them and be like, yo, I started smoking weed because of you. Mm-hmm. They'd be like, I'm surprised. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. But it's like, bro, hip hop is not solely responsible, because guess what? We just talked about parents not monitoring what their kids are consuming. Like, my mom wouldn't let me consume a lot of content that I wanted to consume. Like, I could never watch South Park as a kid.
Wow.
Because my mom was like, you ain't watching South Park? I've seen the show. You ain't watching that? Mm. My mom was involved. These kids' parents want to be friends with them.
Yeah.
Like, they want to be cool. They want to be homies.
I just seen, what was it, T.I. and his son. And his son was in a Waffle House or something like that, you know, going back and forth with one of the workers. I mean, I get it. You know, you want to plead your case, but it's like to a point that you still have to, like, of course your dad is still T.I. I get it. But it's like still as an individual, you still got to be able to, you know when to
separate
stop.
It, respect.
Know when to, Mm-hmm. So I'm like, you know, that's highlighting to what you're saying. It's like, it doesn't matter. I get his pops is up there and he can get away with whatever, but like, you still personally got to know, like, you know what I'm saying, what's right and what's wrong.
But influence is so real, though. To have a freshman in high school talk about shrooms and doing drugs like that. Like, bro, I recently took shrooms, and I have to be mentally, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I needed to make sure I was ready to take this type of shit. And, you know what I mean?
And that's, like weed has so many beneficial aspects to it, right? Mm-hmm. Like, the truth of the matter is...
And if I'm being honest, I didn't smoke weed till I was like 15, 16 for the first time. And I'm like, I was worried to do it. Like, I was like, my mom for sure catching me type shit. You feel me?
And like, it's like science supports that, like, marijuana actually has like health benefits to it. Mm-hmm. But they also promote the idea of like, hey, at a particular age bracket is when it becomes beneficial. At a particular age bracket, it is detrimental because brain development is still occurring. And now you're producing dopamine and serotonin in fashions in which you are no longer able to naturally produce. Mm-hmm. And that's the bad part. I'm like, yo.
Because they're not smoking regular, just a grass-grown weed no more. It's a bunch of chemicals in there. Yeah, it's everything.
You feel me, dog? Like this stuff, I'm like, yo, cuz, like, I'm happy to see that people are, like, making an industry and a business and being able to do something right with something, right? Mm-hmm. But, like, these kids, like, it's just a very different world.
It's so when limit to consumption, like, it doesn't mean overwhelm yourself, you know, things like that, or jump to another one because that's not as potent as you want it to be.
They're very bold. I feel like the generation is very bold, man.
Because they're the generation who watched Logan Paul, Jake Paul, and be like, hey, if it's not the highest, I don't want it. Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm not maxing out, like, and so kids are like, yo, like, max out, go to the extreme as much as you can, and it's like,
well, send it.
You feel me? Like, full send. Yeah. But then, like, it's so weird because they're also the same generation who will call you a try-hard.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
And be like, man, why are you trying so hard? Be like, well, why are you trying so hard to do all this?
Right.
And so,
right. Damn. That's deep. I didn't think about that one. That's true. That is true, bro.
But no, that'd be my one critique. Is just like, yo, man, because they're no different than us. They just have different access. Like, when I was teaching, we didn't have Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. Like, you feel me? Like, as a teacher, I have to be concerned with AirDrop.
Concerned with it?
Concerned with it.
Niggas will like for instance, what school did you go to?
Bear Creek.
Bear Creek. What school did you go to?
I went to graduate from Brookside Christian.
So, Like at Edison, shit was wild. Sex tapes was getting leaked out from people like.
Oh shit!
On AIM, you know what I mean? Like sidekicks was popping. Like folks was like sending wild stuff. Like you getting some dome, and folks was like taking pictures and then sending it out. Right?
Amber Cole.
Yep.
Airdrop is a thing with that now.
In class.
In class.
People airdropping the videos and shit like that.
Straight to the photo. Straight to the camera.
Bro, try to send it to your computer. While I'm like, they'll try to send it to me while I have something displayed from my computer.
Oh my god, damn.
Could be on some funny.
But it is Edison though. I ain't gonna cap Edison. You feel me?
That's where he graduated. This is different schools.
Oh, what school was this?
This was Edison.
Oh, this was Edison.
So I was teaching at Edison.
Yeah.
And like I love Edison. Edison's a great school. Edison has one of the highest academic ratings. Only if you give a damn about your education though.
True.
Like if you're in a standard class, you're just as
yeah, but that's like damn. Then you gotta see like Y'all motherfuckers is wild, bro. Y'all really gotta chill. Like, come on now. Your teachers now, like, come on now. That's not
crazy.
cool,
bro.
That's not cool.
Like, another thing too is like if like they don't have libraries at schools no more.
No way.
I didn't know that.
No.
All textbooks are online.
Chris McAuliffe used to have a big old library up there, dude. I wonder if it's not there, what they turned it into. No way, really?
Computer rooms.
Oh, I believe that now. Okay, there we go.
So they store their laptops there. Like kids at SUSD just get a laptop.
Yeah.
Check out your book on a computer.
That's crazy.
That's weird.
No more
already
lockers.
pre-uploaded into the computer.
That's weird. Why?
iMacs
Like, it's a
and
book.
iPads and all that stuff is normal now,
bro.
But
we don't teach kids how to type.
I didn't know that anymore.
We don't teach kids how to type.
We used
There's
to
computer school classes, right? No.
No more. There's no more.
Kids are coming to me.
Yeah, textile. Yeah.
They're not taking typing classes. It's an elective.
Wow.
Oh wow. And they'll rather probably let me take cooking or let me take
We ain't even got that.
What?
They take easy classes as electives.
Yeah, for sure. Every time I'm graduating in the simplest class. Why not?
Damn, nah. I mean, you gotta have some type of ambition and know more, do better though. But it's like
in high school,
I'm like, you have the ambitious kids, but those are the kids who are in the honors classes half the time. Those are the kids who are trying, who care about the academics.
Yeah,
they're the kids who take Spanish for 3 years because they know Spanish for 3 years helps them get into college.
See,
shout out my little sister.
I wish I saw that vision though, because like I tell I'm Mexican and Puerto Rican, bro. You know what I mean? I grew up with it. Like, I took Spanish, but I wish I took it more serious to be able to transition it to life. Because if I was full bilingual right now, I'm killing the game,
right.
Bro.
Killing.
Like if I could do poetry in Spanish, like I'd be in Mexico killing it right now, bro.
Oh my god,
like
that's true.
Crazy.
Like, bro, it would be a whole different marketplace.
Right.
But nah, man, like, but kids are kids. They're short sighted. You know what I mean? They don't see beyond right now. Like, kids. I had a classroom of 37 kids, and 15 wanted to be social media influencers.
15 wanted to be social media
influencers.
That's all they wanted to do.
That's what they wanted to be.
Put it on the what do you want to be or grow up? That's crazy.
So
they're like, yo, man, like I want to be a content creator, and I'm like, some of them wanted to do gaming, some of them wanted to pod, some of them wanted to do YouTube, and I'm like,
that's a crazy.
But it's different mindset.
Normal.
Like when we were graduated, okay, I'm gonna go be a accountant, or I'm gonna go be sports medicine, or things like that.
Yep.
And it's like
Hooper.
And I told him, I'm like, I don't knock that, but also, do you understand the large pool that you're entering? Because it's not like when YouTube dropped. The first 5 years was the time to be to get in.
I think about that. Like those videos are still up. They're still making money on those videos.
Philip DeFranco started a channel in the first 5 years of YouTube. Just talk, and he was one of the first response channels just talking about stuff that was happening.
Right.
And he's still popping.
Damn.
Right? Because guess what? There was not a marketplace. Nobody was competing. It was just same thing with Vine. Like when Vine dropped, it was like
that's where you see the content creators, the first version of
the first wave. And then now people are like, oh, yo, like I'm about to do it on Instagram. It's like, well, you're competing against everybody.
Right.
That's true.
Everybody.
Right.
It's not just as simple as like, hey, oh man, like I'm about to recreate a funny video. It's like, well, guess what? Somebody else also did that video.
Yeah. Same exact one, same
gotta
exact
think
way.
outside the box for sure. Got to be creative.
You feel me?
That's no
like
cap.
you guys got a pod. How many niggas is podding?
Right.
Everybody, especially now.
Now.
No cap.
Yeah.
No cap.
Influence is real. I say, but would you say that you bring that influence out of those kids too? You know what I mean? Seeing your wave and how you went about it, like,
oh, without question.
You know what I mean?
I teach kids. Like, part of my poetry series is called Dreamers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, like, if you have a dream, be okay with pursuing it, but also be understanding and realistic of what the pursuit is.
Got you.
Like, I never had an idea of being a world famous artist until I was on the show. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because I met poets who lived well, who lived smooth. They wasn't famous. And being famous was never their ambition or goal.
No, yeah,
but
I'm
like, yo, fame is boring. Notoriety sucks.
Yeah.
If you don't believe it, ask Kanye. What? Like, Kanye hates notoriety.
To clarify what notoriety is, like the recognition is, what is that? What do you mean?
Having a voice, right?
If Dave Chappelle, like, for instance, Dave Chappelle walk into a grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, everybody in that goddamn grocery store.
There we go.
Want to go talk to Dave Chappelle.
Facts. Yeah, nah, you can miss me with the notoriety then, yeah. I just want to be a normal person getting paid.
You feel me? That's why, like, Bill Gates tries his hardest not to be seen.
Yeah, you see, yeah, that's true. Everybody gonna ask him for $1 if you see Bill Gates.
Right. You feel me? Like, people don't know this. Like, what does A.G. Spanos look like?
Google it, right? No, not to you. I'm just saying we would have to Google it.
That's true.
Because niggas don't know.
He's tucked away.
He died. Yeah. Rest in peace. But niggas would not have known if A.G. Spanos, who owns the Chargers,
right,
was in the room with him
and half a stock
at all.
But he's cool. He don't care.
Right.
Nobody knows the majority stockholder for Google or for Microsoft or for none of these niggas. Nobody knows these people's faces.
Because it's not the CEO.
It's not the CEO.
Get the fuck out of here. Damn.
He's living very comfortable right now. Somewhere.
He's smooth. He's walking into a local Starbucks plain as hell.
Right.
Talking about the black card.
Yeah.
Bro, plain as hell. No, that's yeah.
And that's the life.
Yeah.
Because guess what? He could go get tickets to any finals game. He could be front row. He could be at the Met Gala. He could be anywhere he want to be. She could be anywhere she want to be. They could be anywhere they want to be.
Talk about it.
That's
Talk
real.
about it. I like how you said that.
You feel me? Like, they just choose not to.
I like how you said that. Damn.
In this world, everybody wants a face. They want the notoriety.
Right.
Because kids think going viral mean they're going to be rich.
Yeah.
Nah, just because everybody know you don't mean you getting... Look at the... bruh. Nah. Yeah. Nah.
Yeah.
Look what happened to Boom Gang.
Yeah, I was going to say him and then other bruh, like, what's up? D's nuts. Him too, bruh. Like, he was getting paid. Where's he at now?
Yeah, I see him.
He's on, like, Vegas nowadays, walking the strip, trying to get paid type shit. Mm-hmm. So it's like, bruh, that's true, though. You can go viral all you want, but viral ain't going to pay your goddamn bills. Bro, or give you health insurance.
You're a wordsmith, bro. You know what I mean? Like, was that always from the kid? Like, you knew you were good with words. You were in the dictionary, bro. You learned some thesauruses. Like,
nah, I never did none of that. Versions. Actually, so I'm not gonna make this deep. But like, I suck at reading.
Really?
And that's probably like that's something that me and God are working on right now because it's like a really heavy issue for me right now. But I suck at reading. And so I've never been a reader. Mm-hmm. But I've been really good with words. Mm-hmm. I became a really good poet because I was a great liar.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's a way to put it. That's a way to put it. I mean,
you ought to clarify what you mean by that. Like, what?
If you're a good liar, you can make movies because you can make stories.
True. True. You can, make sense.
All you do is lie when you write. If you're creating fiction.
Right.
This is true.
Like, all you have to do is be as creative as possible with it and let it run. And that's it. That's at the end of the day. That's all it is.
That's all it turned into. And you just, when was that moment you realized, like, oh, I can.
But you use some big words, though, man.
Oh, now I do.
Yeah.
Now I'm knee deep in a thesaurus.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got the app on my phone.
Just the wordsmith, though, like with that moment, you're like, oh, I actually can flow.
My wife is calling me.
You're good.
Hey, boo. We'll mute it.
No, you're good. We live. Make sure if y'all got this far, follow, like, comment, subscribe for real, man. We appreciate you for tuning in.
Please, shout out 7 Leaves, man.
Shout out everybody.
7 Leaves.
It's perfect. Good.
Beautiful. Can I call you after the pod?
We're wrapping up.
Love you. Bye.
Have you ever been approached by, I know you said you're doing music yourself, but have you ever been approached by a label or artist to make music for other people?
Oh, like ghostwriting?
Like ghostwriting could be a writer. I mean, because
I've had artists ask me.
Yeah. Would you do it?
Yeah. Like a paycheck's a paycheck.
Yeah.
I write poems for companies that I care nothing about. Not the company, but like the poem I don't care.
Yeah, right.
Like I've said no to companies that I don't support. But yeah, like if an artist wanted that, I'd be like, cool. As long as my name on the back of the album.
Yeah.
Like as long as when that song drop.
Kanye might call, but you know when he got an album, like he call everybody. So he see Brandon Leake, he might definitely get him on a.
Hey man, Kanye, I'm a fellow believer
for writing in general.
Sunday, do one of them segments again, like we can clip that up too. You
hey yo, yay man, yay. You can ask your boy Jay Ivy. Ask Jay Ivy if I'm nice, and if Jay Ivy gives me the stamp of approval, bring me out to a Sunday service. I would love to come rock with you.
Let's go.
Because I'm nice with these words.
Nice,
and from the bottom of my heart, I don't say this for conjecture, and I don't say this for like notoriety's sake. I say it because I mean it. Like God is like the center of all that I do. So if like morals and character is something you're looking for, I'm also at the top of your list.
Facts.
Man, blowing smoke. Please make that happen. Oh my God, that'd be nice. But I just got one before we actually I should have said this a lot earlier because that should have tied in what we were saying. But I need your top 5 poets of all time.
Top 5 poets of all time. All right, so this is a hard thing because like there's a distinction between spoken word and poetry. Okay. So like all spoken word is poetry, not all poetry is spoken word.
Okay, I understand that.
And so the idea is like Maya Angelou is a phenomenal poet, but would get washed as a spoken word artist. Because the idea is spoken word is the fusion of theater and poetry.
Angelou to get washed?
Right, meaning what do you mean theater and poetry?
So like the performance aspect, stepping on stage, like when I did my stuff, like I wasn't just up there saying words.
Right.
The vocal inflections, stuff like that. And it's not to say that Maya Angelou couldn't have been a phenomenal spoken word artist. That's just not what she was at the time, right? It's the same way that like, how to phrase it? All battle rap is rap, but not all rap is battle rap.
Yep.
This is true. I actually understand that. That's a great similarity.
Great metaphor.
Okay.
Because if you throw,
is that a metaphor?
If you throw Drake into a battle rap group, he's probably gonna get washed.
Facts.
But if you throw one of these battle rappers into a concert, they're gonna get.
He's not performing.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Drake, yep.
If you read Maya Angelou's work, her work is way better than mine. Read. If you hear my work, mine is better heard than read. And that's the distinction. Like, she washes me in several categories. I just wash her in a couple others.
Gotcha.
And so it's like it's an even trade-off. But Maya Angelou is on mine because I'm fusing poetry and spoken word.
And thank you for giving me that clarification because I would have never known that. Thank you.
Most people don't. I didn't.
Yeah.
I just call poetry. And folks be like, no, man, you're a spoken word. I'm like, whatever. And then but the artistry, but anyway.
It goes deep.
Right.
We have Maya Angelou, Langston Hughes, Rudy Francisco, Black Ice, and then the other person I'll throw in there that nobody thinks about being a poet is MLK.
MLK no, I never would have thought MLK being a poet.
Because if you ever read his work or listen to his sermons, he's deeply metaphorical the entire process of it. If you read, if you had to read his letters from Birmingham jail, it's laced in metaphor.
Wow.
It's poetry.
Wow, that's game right there. That's something I would actually like to look into.
So yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Thank you for giving me
would y'all like a poem?
What? Yeah, if you have
I got new stuff that I'm practicing.
Bro, why did I think about this earlier? I'm like, dude, there's no way he's gonna be able to do it live. He's gonna be like, I need better lights or something like that. No, this is good.
So I got a poem called Never Green, or I have a poem called Annunciation.
Pick it, Jay.
I like Never Green.
Never Green. All right. So I asked some poets of legend of mine that I know, like, hey, what is a skill set that you think I could work on? And one of my favorite poets, Javon Johnson, shout out, homie, told me work on metaphor. So this is my poem working on metaphor.
Okay. Ready.
Outside of my window is a bird. I see it building at a time where winter is withered between the degrees of U and V. But this bird chilled on its perch, having no fear in height. It picked a poor location to call home, for this evergreen home isn't evergreen. In fact, it's never green, died long before the bird arrived. But How do you tell someone who's searching for synchronicity and shelter just hoping this matchstick that they home ain't nothing but matchsticks? Pyrotechnics prepared prudently. I considered taking the time to interject, but figured we didn't speak the same dialect, and I'm confident even if I warned it being persistent would cause further resistance, so I just held my tongue and merely observed. This bird would pick away at pieces of this wilted tree to place atop its nest. It's like how we repurpose pain instead of walking away from it. This bird elected to house itself amongst desolation's debris, deeming them detached details worthy of saving. Come to think of it, I have no recollection of this tree ever thriving. My mind's depriving me of this cerebral selection, but I digress. Reappropriate my gaze toward the bird. I see it nesting. I see it resting uncomfortably in this makeshift nest. Just imagine adorning your warm backside with a mattress made of the jagged shards of all your worried woes. But what confused me most was this bird was not isolated from other homes. Within eye shot of this torched timber is a tree teeming with life, a community of birds, nests nestled near its peak, but this bird wouldn't even as much point its beak towards them, ignored them, and this is where the resistance isn't worth my persistence, for this bird knows it isn't sequestered to its barren home, for this evergreen home isn't evergreen. In fact, I don't think it was evergreen. My memories are coming back to me. The sapling never once sprouted a leaf, just grew out its trunk with branches as far-reaching as the lies this bird tells itself in the mirror. This bird must have been prescribed pride to be so arrogant that it completely ignores how its wings are the gateway to the hope it tries to build, but it's so caught in the agony of what was supposed to be, it can't see the plethora of opportunity just waiting to be seized, because outside my window is a bird. I see it building the same home every day to no avail. At first, I banged on my window to try and alert it of its inevitable failure and how it should change course, but it either never heard me or merely ignored my advances, and as time progressed, I must confess, my will's willingness to keep knocking faded to the point that I am now, because tell me, what is the soul to do when it is willing but the flesh is weak? Have you heard your soul banging on your chest these days?
It's about basically that poem. Is it me? Is it like you're talking about yourself? Like is it?
Yeah, my soul's the person in the window.
Yeah.
Right.
The bird is my body.
Yep.
Okay. The bird's your body.
Woo.
Okay, making more sense now. Damn.
Because when the soul is willing, but the flesh is weak.
What comes first when a poem comes? Is it concept? Is
How?
it like what do you?
Oh,
what do you think?
forever changes. Like this one was concept.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that I have called Enunciation. I'll share that one with you too if you want.
Yes.
We'll do that one standing up.
And, that is
That was nice.
Enunciation started with a line, and I was like, I'm just gonna build around this line. So
A line.
It was started with a line. How long did it take for you to create a poem? If you're in your bag, let's talk about in your bag.
So in my bag, I'm in the shower.
Okay.
I write 95% of my poems.
Oh, you got a high ass water bill.
Like, because the cool part for me is nobody bothers me. Like in the shower, nobody comes in, nobody asks me for nothing, and it's just me and my thoughts, and I can just let it run. And so sometimes if I'm in my bag, like this poem, like Evergreen, the one I just read, 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Oh, you really did it all like just straight up through. Oh wow, Brandon, that's okay.
Yeah,
I'm thinking you put down, come back.
Oh, sometimes I do. That's a majority of the time. But like when I was in, like he asked when I was in my bag. So like Evergreen,
7
I was in my
minutes?
bag.
Yeah, this one was very like
Wow.
So like
presentful, I guess that would be the word for me to say. I could visualize what you were saying.
And like there's even like I'm actually gonna do like a I forget what YouTube page, but it's like when they break down lyrics and like do like rhyme scheme stuff. So I'm gonna do one of those for that, because like for instance, I have a line in there where I say this evergreen home isn't evergreen. In fact, it was nevergreen. I don't say home, I say home. A home is HOLM, and that's an evergreen tree.
Oh wow.
So
There's a
dude,
deeper
oh
than
my
thought.
God.
Deeper,
yeah.
man. That shit's
Your
deep
word-
on this side.
Okay. Man, J. Cole need to get you on the intro of his song. That's what you need. God
shout
damn.
out to Too Deep for the intro.
Yeah, man. See? Man.
Before we sign out here, I got one more. Where does the Emmy nomination rank in your accomplishments, bro?
Emmy nomination is top 5.
Top 5?
Top 5.
Yeah.
In terms of like artistic.
Artistic, yeah.
It's top 5.
There we go.
Number 1 is the special.
Yeah.
That's coming out.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it, bro.
Yeah,
I can't wait
definitely.
for it. Really
Number
excited.
2 would be winning the show. Number 3 would be my 150 tour.
Did that self-made.
Then
Self-made.
The Emmy would probably be number 4.
Yeah.
And so last poem, I got you.
No, so we're gonna do that one standing up.
Oh,
I
got
We're
you.
gonna do that on a separate thing, but we'll sign out right now.
I'll let you.
But make sure y'all go follow Brandon Leake, man. Really, say it again one more time for me. Mills got you.
Hey, yo, holla at me, Brandon Leake, on all platforms. I'm verified everywhere except TikTok.
Hell yeah.
But I just went viral there, and now I'm at like 20K.
Come on, let's get him verified on TikTok, man. Let's
Signing
go.
out, it's your boy JG.
You already know it's Jay Jonah, man. We here, man.
Peace. It's blowing smoke.